We're here.
We made it another week.
Yeah, and I'm just going to jump right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Peculiar Pairings. My name is Matt.
I'm Celine. Welcome to our show.
Yeah, we're here. We're tired, but we're in a whole new year. This won't necessarily be, well, this definitely won't be the first of 2023, but this is our first recording. No. So we took a little break.
Yeah, we did.
And we're back. And I am exhausted just because, as I've mentioned before, I work for the Postal Service. And so between Thanksgiving and pretty much Martin Luther King Day in January, it's just insane working 13-hour days and getting up really early. But
yeah,
the cold air is refreshing, and that's me trying to be positive. Just
I'm trying so hard.
Well, yeah, because you get so much overtime. The paychecks are usually worth it, but you're just dead inside and out. Yeah.
I just wake up dead inside. It's fine.
Yeah. And especially last year when I was still working in St. Paul, but I was living in Eau Claire.
Oh, yeah.
And I would just wake up. It felt like I would wake up, make the drive out there, do my job, and then I would come home and I would basically blink and I would be up at 4 a.m. again, getting ready to go to work. And I'm like, this has to stop.
You. But no, don't need to do that anymore. No. I hope it's at least been a little bit easier.
Oh, it's been night and day because I also got on a different route out here because I'm working in Eau Claire now. So even when we have our early days, they have a bit of a later start time than my old office did.
Yeah.
So not only do I not have to be in the office as early because I don't have to drive an hour and a quarter, I don't have to get up any earlier to do that. So it's been way better. Plus, I'm on a new route that is almost entirely driving. So I just kind of cruise around, but I do still have that where we'll do 2 to 3 hours of just package delivery in the morning because of all the gifts and stuff. And so you're lifting heavy. Yeah, you're lifting heavy stuff, lots of boxes. You're throwing it in the truck and then you get in and you drive around for a few hours and you're dropping them off. And then you get back and you're like, oh my God, I still have to do my entire day. Because then your normal day starts. And so you still have at least 8 hours of,
Oof.
But anyway.
I do not envy you. I am somewhat tired because I've made the full transition from part-time and working 2 part-time jobs to 1 full-time job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It has been nice. And I have been working a lot on reports for end of year stuff for investors. It's all part of marketing and being look, we're doing good things, basically.
They like those stats and those numbers.
Yeah. I try to make them look nice and presentable, and then just staring at numbers for so long, I feel like my eyes start crossing.
Oh yeah.
I'm I don't know if this word is spelled correctly. I forgot how to spell this word.
Yeah.
It looks right, but it looks so wrong.
You've looked at the same word 1,000 times.
Hours.
And it just kind of hits you. You're like, wait, did I misspell it? Are they all misspelled? And then you freak out for 10 minutes and then you're like, wait, no, that's the right word. Oh my God. And you're like, I've got to take a break.
The one that gets me is real estate, since I work in real estate investing. I don't know why, but specifically the word real estate, after looking at it for so long, I'm just like, that's not a word. It's not real.
That's not a word. That doesn't exist.
It doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Do you guys deal with realtors much? Do you encounter them? I'm mostly curious just if people in your office say realtor or realtor.
So I don't think we work with realtors a whole lot.
Okay.
We have one that our office is associated with in that we have programs for if one of us wants to buy real estate.
Oh, interesting.
We have like a program with them. So we have like that, but I don't think we necessarily have like this person is our company realtor that helps us find properties.
Which is fine. It's a completely pointless tangent. It's just when you mentioned real estate, I couldn't help but think about all the commercials that I've heard about, or that like, this is sponsored by the National Association of Realtors. And they always really heavily emphasize realtor. And every single other person. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's how I hear it in everyday conversation with like humans. And for whatever reason, I've seen like 2 or 3 different companies' commercials where they really heavily emphasize realtors. This is the National Association of Realtors. And I'm like, I've never, ever heard anyone pronounce it that way. But.
Yeah, I mean, come to think of it, it just, when someone says it like that, it just makes me think of realtor.com.
Yeah.
Because it is realtor.com.
Right. And I think that's why they emphasize it that way, because too many people hear it and say it as realtor, that they think it either ends with an E or something that's similar to an E. That's not an O. They want to specify that it's an O. Yeah.
E-R-E-S. Erasure. Yeah. Either way, it's been a transition. I'm juggling trying to get a handle on my schedule and Gabriel's schedule.
Yeah.
Because he works nights, so I don't see him a lot.
Yeah, that can be rough.
But then he's off during the week, so I get to see him like on my days off in the mornings.
That's nice. Yeah.
And when he comes home. And then he gets to see me on his days off when I come home and in the morning if he's alive with the world. That usually doesn't happen. I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm leaving now. And he's like, bye.
Goodbye. I do remember my mom complaining about that. I've only had one job where I worked nights, and it was kind of barely nights because it was like 10 p.m. to usually 3 a.m. So I was in college, and my earliest class was usually never before 10. So it worked out. But my mom used to work as like a nursing home memory care nurse. She used to do overnights, and it was often like 12-hour shifts. But she would work like 2 days on, 1 day off, then 3 days on and 2 days off, I think. So she always really enjoyed having the kind of oscillating gap or whatever. She's like, it is kind of difficult because so many people will be like, hey, do you want to go out on Friday, or do you want to go out to a movie? And it's like, no, I
work.
Yeah, or like, I'm going to be asleep because I have to then get up at like when everyone else is going to sleep. That's my morning, and then I have to go to work until the next sunrise.
Yeah. He's more, I guess, afternoons into evenings, being in a kitchen job.
Okay,
but he'll leave before I get home from my job. And then when he gets home, I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed. Goodbye.
Right. And he doesn't have to go to bed right away. Yeah, because you have to go to work.
And then he's staying up till like 2.
I do kind of, if I'm being honest, I think that is probably my favorite preferred work schedule. I did that a little bit when I was working at a gas station as an assistant manager, and I liked being able to sleep in and then working basically until everything else is closed, because I think we would I think we closed at 11, and then we would usually be there until about midnight. But I would often be able to finagle it so that I could have like a Saturday or Friday off. So if people wanted to do stuff, I could work my schedule so that I could do it. But then I also, every day that I worked, I could stay up until like 2 and watch movies or play video games and not have to get up right away. Yeah. And I also liked that no matter what, if it was winter or whatever, it was always daylight when I got up and when I went to work, and then it was night when I went home. So it felt like I had a better grasp of like a day-night cycle and just a better work-life balance. But I don't think the Postal Service is going to let me do that.
No, I don't think they will. That is
people
since
like to
my job, the normal 9 to 5. I do that.
Yeah, people like to we've learned that people like to get their mail early. They like to get it like right away. I don't think they would appreciate getting mail at like midnight.
I don't think so. I mean, I can say having someone showing up at your house late in the evening when you don't expect them is startling.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it 100% makes me think this person is going to murder me.
Speaking of which, have I told you about the cones?
No.
I don't think I've talked about this with a few. So Lily and I moved into this house last spring, I think, or maybe June, and everything's going fine. It's a great neighborhood, lovely people. Oh, excuse me. And I think in like August, for the first time, I think I got home from work and I parked on the street because our driveway was sort of filled in, so to speak, with a couple construction cones. And I just parked there for a second. I took a picture and I texted it to Lily and I'm like, hey, did you call like the energy company or something? And she's like, no, why? And I was just standing there because I'm like, if I'm not supposed to drive on the driveway, I don't want to, whatever. So I texted her this picture of these cones just in the driveway. And she's like, I don't know what that is. What did you put those? I didn't put those there. They don't have any logos on them. They don't have a number, nothing. So I'm like,
but they're like the orange traffic cones.
Oddly enough, they are orange traffic cones, but they're like the kind you might buy at like Sam's Club or something. Like they're the ones that a civilian could just get anywhere, and they're painted green, which I thought was really weird. So I picked them up and I put them in the backyard, and I'm like, well, I guess those are ours now.
They belong to me.
So I got in my car, I parked, and I think it happened one more time, and I put those cones in the backyard too. But then it happened after Lily had been working late until like 11, I think, and then she had to go to work really early the next morning. So we went to bed like immediately. And when she got up to go to work at 5, there were cones in the driveway. And we're like, okay, that means, and I had let the dogs out and everything probably around 11. And there was nothing there. So someone came in the middle of the night and put cones in the driveway. And they have gotten progressively larger. So the last time I think it's happened 4 times now. And the last time it happened. No, because the last ones we got were like the industrial level road construction sized things you can like fill with sand or water or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
so weird.
Yeah, Lily ended up calling a couple like city organizations, and they're like, we're not doing any work over there. We don't know what the hell that is. Yeah. So we're pretty sure that it's just kids like in the neighborhood who thought it was funny. They're just stealing cones from somewhere and putting them in our driveway, which, as far as pranks go, pretty lame.
Pretty harmless.
Yeah. But it did inspire Lily to get a Ring camera, and nothing has happened since. So it was just so bizarre because we're like, what does this mean? Who's doing this? And so my thought was, if it's someone if it's like a company or an organization that is doing work on the property, you guys owe us a note. You owe us a phone call, an email, something.
Absolutely.
And if it's just a prank, well, fuck you. I'm keeping your cones. Those are mine.
They're mine now.
And none of them have logos or anything. Yeah, it's. So that's what's been going on in 2022. Here's to hoping that 2023 is cone free.
That is the hope.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to not see that because I live in a condo. So if someone's putting cones anywhere near our stuff, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you know this is the one I live in?
Yeah, there's so many people packed so close together and they all look so similar. It's like, well, what? How do you even know what's going on?
Yeah. Not a fan.
No, I agree. I am trying to find the name of the things.
Oh, for our pairings today, which I guess speaking of things that we are not fans of, we are covering a cult today.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot what this was about, and I remembered I had actually had a different idea for a pairing before, but the more I thought about like what it was going to be more rum and dark beer, and I'm like, I want to save that for something that's more aquatic, maybe, because you said it was going to be dark. But the cult, if I'm not mistaken, is the Order of the Solar Temple, and that couldn't. As much as it's a cult, I'm like, that just makes me think of like a bright sunny day and like sitting out on a beach in a a chair. What the beach chair? What are those called?
Just relaxing.
A sun chair.
A lawn chair. A sun chair.
Thank you. Oh my God. I couldn't find I think my brain is dying. I'm pretty sure that hopefully getting more sleep will help with the not working as much. With that in mind, and I didn't mean to steal your usual thing of introducing the topic, but it is the Order of the Solar Temple, and that led me to find I usually try to make my own concoctions, but this one is called the Sunlight Sundrop Cocktail. It is very simple. It's just 1 shot of Tuaca, which I couldn't find, so I ended up using 47 somethings, basically a vanilla liqueur, and I found it on its own just very tasty. It's dangerous because like you could take a sip, like just a shot, and it tastes like honey syrup. I don't know. It's absolutely delicious.
It is very sweet. I actually was able to find Tuaca.
Oh, okay.
At our liquor store. And because I was trying to find the 43 and I was like, I can't find this one anywhere. And I'm like, well, he substituted it for Tuaca. And I was like, maybe I can find that. And I'm like, it's right in front of my face.
Oh, yeah. No,
wow.
I went to 2 places, asked the people, they couldn't find it, and I looked online, and the one that I ended up using, even on the label, is described exactly the same way as Tuaca, Mediterranean spices and vanilla something. So I'm like, I'm sure it's fine. And then 1 shot of triple sec and 1 shot of sweet and sour mix, shake it in a glass, pour it over ice. I think it's great.
It is very delicious.
And then I paired that with little pastries that I'm calling sunspots. And you just use some puff pastry, some cream cheese, and some peach preserves, and you put them all in a little pouch essentially and bake them up, and they're tasty. And it's kind of a nice soothing thing. I feel like it'll be a decent bright spot, so to speak, in whatever this dark tale is going to be.
Yes. So my sources for today are an article from the Tucson Sun for Religious Practices Gone Awry, Wikipedia, swissinfo.ch, encyclopedia.com, and filmdaily.co.
Can't help feeling like the Tucson Sun missed a decent marketing point by just not being like the Tucson. They could call it like the put a C in there because they like it.
I think they maybe did that so that it didn't sound like people were just mispronouncing Tucson.
You're probably right. It doesn't. As I was saying it didn't really feel like it flowed off the tongue super well. But Tucson Sun feels a little too tongue tie-ish for me. But
it is a little bit.
It seems like they're going just fine. They're now a source on a podcast, so they can take that back and put that on their credentials.
Yeah. So with that, I think it is important, since we are talking about a cult, to talk about what a cult is and what the warning signs of a religious practice gone awry are. Which usually the two go hand in hand. Cults almost always have these 5 signs of a religious practice that is not doing what it's supposed to. So if they're all the red flags, the religious red flags. So a cult, by definition, is a group or movement held together by a shared commitment or a charismatic leader or ideology. Okay. It is often a belief system that has all of the answers to life's questions and offers a special solution only to be gained and obtained by following the leader's rules.
Yeah, you can only get into our special version of heaven by giving me all of your stuff and women.
Yes.
That's how it usually seems to be.
Usually. And most cults are made up of 4 similar components, which is a charismatic leader, someone who really speaks to people, they're likable. People just hear them talk about stuff and they're like, oh my God, they're amazing. It's that kind of personality where you're like, I like them. I don't know why. I just do.
Have you heard this guy talk? If you listen to him long enough, you'll know how much he loves himself. He's so good.
So great. Like, I love him so much because he loves him so much.
I didn't think he was that great before he started talking, but then he told me how much I should like him, and then I started to like him, and now I love him. He's the best.
Yes. They have a transcendent belief system in that you are always going to be promised a better place through some sort of transformation process. And this is like where you get indoctrinated into the group, and that you go through like the indoctrination process and like, oh my God, it's going to be so amazing when you get into this group, when you join us, and then you join them and it's, oh, the next step is this, and it's going to be so amazing when you get there, and we have to do X, Y, and Z to get there. And this does actually fall under a lot of religious practices, and that in this life you do X, Y, and Z to then be promised eternal life and getting into heaven or whatever it is that you believe, if you believe in that.
Yeah, they're like, you stick with us and you're going to get everything that you want. But first you have to like live in a cave and basically give up everything that you knew as existence, because that's part of the transformation into becoming a better being.
Mm-hmm. And there is a lot of systems of control, which are often rules and regulations brought on by the leader. And I'm going to make the distinction here versus most general religion, in that there are rules in religion, like in the Bible, thou shalt not murder, because murdering is generally not good.
Yeah.
And that these are more strict rules, and that like you don't associate with this person for X, Y, and Z reason. You don't shop at this store because this person isn't within our group, and more stuff like that. That's a bit more social isolation versus just, we shouldn't be horrible humans.
Yeah. Well, and as much as I don't personally buy into religion, I do think there's a fairly obvious distinction between certain rules, whereas even in like more mainstream religions that might have kind of small little kind of nitpicky rules about what you can wear and what you can eat and stuff like that, one of their tenets seems to be, if you slip from the path, there's always a way to get back on track. And like forgiveness is usually a big part of it. It seems like cults tend to just crack the whip and they're like, no, you can't do that. No. Now you have to pay penance of get back in that cave. Remember that cave we introduced to? Yeah, get back in there. And they just, it is just such an iron fist way of living, and it's
Scientology is a great example of that, in that when you slip up, you then have to pay lots of money to get back to where you were previously, because you like get knocked down on like their ladder thing. And then you also have to go to their I want to say it's like their version of like peer group therapy, except it's you and a person who is interrogating you and trying to essentially get blackmail on you, and like
yeah, it has a specific word. I can't remember.
I cannot remember the word of it right now, but if anyone knows of Scientology and some of that, you know what we're talking about. If you don't, I highly suggest going on Netflix and watching Leah Remini's docuseries on Scientology. Blew my mind.
Well, and they're now known for being so ruthless. It's almost amazing that she's still alive. Like, it just seems like at some point they would have come for her and she would have just, or even in the public eye, that like she would have just suddenly disappeared. And it's like maybe she's just well known enough, like she's famous enough, she's successful enough that they can't quite get there or something. But
I think because of who she is, like if she was an everyday person, I honestly think they could make her disappear. But because she is a celebrity, she's not quite to the celebrity level of like Tom Cruise, but she's still very much a well-known celebrity, and that if she went missing, people would be very suspicious of it.
Right. Yeah, it's almost like they're just being tactical about it, where it's like, we can't take her down because she's too well known. But yeah, I
think she uses to her advantage.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like lean into it. Like when she first wanted to leave, I could see her being on the fence about being outspoken about it or being kind of quiet. And she's like, no, I'm safer if I'm in the light. Like if everyone is watching me talk about it, then they can't do anything. But I definitely don't doubt for a second that if you're just an average member who wants to leave and they, for whatever reason, don't want you just out in the public, I don't doubt for a second that they could make someone disappear.
Yeah. And this actually leads me to the fourth component, which is systems of influence. And this can be everything from subtle peer pressure, which like you see that in every religious organization where it's like, well, you're not supposed to do this. And, like, I think my favorite one people use in Christianity is always, God is watching you.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
And because it's that pressure to like behave a certain way and like conditioning people to do certain things.
Well, and it allows anyone of any age and authority level to bring in that same sense of a parent saying like, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. In the sense that like, even like your youngest little sibling or whatever could be like, hey, it doesn't matter what I think, but God's gonna judge you.
God's judging you.
Yeah, everyone has that trump card of like calling the Almighty into the conversation.
Yeah. Although usually with cults, it involves cutting yourself off from anyone who is not a part of this group. Yeah. And this is super common because it is, oh, that person is holding you back. That person is keeping you from reaching your full potential. So a lot of people will then only have their influence within the cult versus like having their family outside of it and all of that. So that is where the issue lies, is that you going outside of that. And this does actually happen in Christian groups where they want you to only be with other Christians, which is not what you're supposed to do, by the way.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that. Yeah. Jesus didn't do it, don't do it.
Yeah. And I think that is another distinction. One thing, again, to go back to Scientology, that probably pushes it more towards cult than just religion, and arguably the most successful cult that's ever been, just in how they force people to cut off family members who like leave the church, and they even have a specific name for it, and they're like, you can't associate with them anymore. And I could definitely see how that might happen in Christian groups, kind of in their own little in their own little sort of cells, but that's not really a tenet of Christianity. Whereas like in Scientology, as a broad, like,
it's like one of their rules.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like you do not associate with people who have left you. Yeah. It's creepy.
Yeah. And I can say that I have actually seen this in Utah when my dad was living there. The area we were in was like 95% Mormon. So in not being Mormon and being anything else, you are then the other. And a lot of people will choose to not associate with you because you're not Mormon. And it happens in the very concentrated Mormon areas. So like you don't see this in Salt Lake City. You don't see it in more populated areas, but where we were in which is like in the St. George area where it is very Mormon, you see that. And I've talked to other people who lived in the area and weren't Mormon, and they're like, no, like I was treated poorly. I couldn't get jobs because of it and stuff like that. So it does happen outside of cults. Although there is a lot of back and forth as to whether or not Mormonism is a cult, but that is a topic for another time.
True, right. Yeah, and I think that's the only reason I was focusing on Scientology at all is just because even
it is very much known to be a cult.
Right. And even talking about like Mormonism and other religions, it seems like partially just human tendency to want to stick to one's own, so to speak. And so when you have such a highly dense, tight-knit group, whether they're Mormon or Christian, they will have a tendency to be like, well, you have to stick with your own people, your own beliefs and that kind of thing. Yeah. But there again, it's like something with these cults, it's a hard rule. Like that is part of our belief system. It's like it's
a hard rule, not a guideline.
Exactly. Yeah. And you will be punished for there. Like in other religions, they might tend towards that, but you might be
you're not getting in trouble for it. No one's coming at you.
You'll get that side eye from neighbors is like, oh, they're dating outside of our religion or something, but it's not like you're excommunicated necessarily.
No, but they're just judging you a little bit for it.
Now I'm excited to learn about the solar flare. That's from the solar beacon. God damn it.
From the sun.
I'm probably exactly. I'm probably gonna say solar flare the whole episode. Screw it. Solar flare.
So we have the foundations of the cults. Now we have the religious red flags.
Waving high on the turrets of their castle of bullshit.
Red flag number 1, religious stalking. Which is
Christmas stalking?
No.
Oh.
I wish. No, it is just persistent unwanted attention from people calling you, knocking on your doors, hanging outside of like your living spaces, place of work. But
yes. So like the worst possible kind of stalking. Yeah. Great.
Stalking you in the sense of we are crossing these personal boundaries because we want you to join our religion.
Whoa, that's creepy.
And it's not in the way of like stalking in a relationship or general stalking where someone has this deep-seated interest of you personally and like you as a human. It is, I am trying to save your soul. Let me help you. Yeah,
it's not even necessarily you as a specific
it's not you
individual.
As a person.
Yeah, it's just we need to get more people. We need not to go off topic again, but Lily just got me watching that Netflix show You, and it had been in my queue for a while. That's creepy shit. And
what season are you on?
I think we finished everything that's on Netflix, so I'm through the final one. I have to finish
season 3, so that's where I'm at.
I think my only complaint, and I won't give away too much, my only complaint is that I feel like they did things in season 3 that they could have waited to do, because season 3 introduces a new dynamic in terms of relationship that he's never had in the show before, and I feel like they could have had an entire season of just that sort of working itself out. And then they easily could have gone into a season 4 with like half of what happens in season 3. Yeah. But in terms of a Dexter-like sort of story, I found it very riveting. Even though one person brought up, I was listening to some YouTube thing and they were talking about how it's basically shitty Dexter. And I'm like, I don't think so, because they're like, he's just such a horrible person, and like all the people in the show are terrible. Who do you root for? And I'm like, because he doesn't, especially at the beginning, he doesn't really like killing. Like they even go to great lengths to show that he's not really experienced at it, and he doesn't really want to do it. I like that the show is sort of an examination of someone who has this obsession and how they sort of react to it, and then he gets into deeper and deeper situations, and I have found it to be incredibly interesting.
Yeah. So the first 2 seasons, it's actually based off of a book series.
Oh,
and the book for what would have been the 3rd book or the 3rd season had not I think it had not been written.
Okay.
So it was just the first two. So then for season 3, they kind of just did their own thing versus like following a written story.
That makes sense. I will say that it does kind of feel like I get the sense that I do remember distinctly thinking that season 1 and 2 had a similar sort of feel. They were set up very similarly, and then season 3, although I didn't dislike it, it did feel pretty distinctly different.
Yeah. I am excited.
I might have to read I might have to read those books now. I really liked the series. I hope they do another season. I think they're doing another one.
They're doing another season. They're doing a season.
Hell yeah.
Here.
Nice.
Yeah. So outside of Stalking Like Joe on You,
right.
This is a little bit less personal, I guess we could say.
Yeah, it's more of a numbers game. We just want to get more people into our thrall.
We gotta save the world. So it's not about an individual. Then there is red flag number 2, invasiveness. Which is, they do this in Scientology, actually. And that they attempt to gain an inappropriate amount of personal, financial, health, sexual, or emotional information about you.
Oh my God.
Which they can potentially then turn around on you and use for blackmail. Which, like, they do that in NXIVM. They do it in Scientology. A lot of places do it where a lot of it is like financial exploitation. And then it's like, well, you have to pay us this amount of money. Otherwise, you're never going to excel. Or in the case of Scientology, like, they basically get you to blackmail yourself in a way, and that you spill these secrets. And then later they're like, well, we're going to tell everyone what you did like this one time here. And you're like, oh, maybe I don't want everyone to know.
In order to go through this transformational process, you have to unload all of your negativity. You have to get rid of all the things in your past that are weighing you down. So give them to us, and we will only use them to help you. We promise.
We promise.
So is this, are you talking like this is in the process of recruitment, or potentially after you've already kind of been in the group?
So I believe this usually happens after you've already been in the group. And that it's used mixed with a few other areas, which we will get into. But it is that either they see you behave in a certain way, and they're like, well, that's unacceptable behavior. And it's kind of going back to following those social guidelines.
Yeah.
And that they'll, in some instances, like, they'll be like, oh, we saw you speaking like with this person, and then spinning it into something that it's not, and be like, well, we're gonna tell everyone about X, Y, and Z. Or, oh, you want to gain in your ranks, you got to pay us this. If you don't, like, we'll do this type of thing. So it's,
I saw you at the gas station. Yeah, I saw you buy a Pepsi. We only drink Coke. You son of a bitch. Snapping pictures.
It usually starts as you gaining a relationship, like, with other people in it. So, like, you also have other people in the group, like, snitching on you.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, like, you can confide in me. Like, you can tell me anything. We're gonna, like, we're growing in this religion together. Like, let me help you.
Yeah. Being
very friendly with you, and then taking those things you share in confidence and in, like, private settings and turning it against you.
It starts as a friend in a study group, and before you know it, you're in a cult.
Yep.
Poor bastards.
Then deception, flag number 3.
Oh, yeah.
Just that they are not willing to clearly identify themselves. And from the article I have from the Tucson Sun, they define it specifically as a religious group's identity, affiliation, and advertising, and that it should not be ambiguous with beliefs and practices for transparency. For example, having surveys and contests and other recruitments that identify the organization and for the full purpose of the contest of events, like, not disclosing that. And that you should be transparent in like how they spend money. They should be transparent in what exactly they do. They should be transparent in where they affiliate. So that would be like saying, oh, like we're this church, and being like, oh, like you're an offshoot of this one. And it's like, no, we're separate. We're a whole other thing. Like what they're doing isn't us, but it's like a branch of that other church.
Okay.
So I say it doesn't make tons of sense in that, like, it would be like if you had a church that was like part of the Catholic Church, and then they broke off and were like, no, we're this church. We're not Catholic, but then everything they do is Catholic.
Yeah. They're misleading you in what their beliefs are, and they're like just to get you in the door, essentially.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, now that you're here, you're ready to know the truth. And it's like, I thought the truth was we were going to have donuts and coffee.
This is not how that works. And you're like, but literally everywhere else I've been does not do this. And they're like, well, they don't really know the way.
Right. That's well, they're wrong. There's like 3,500 different denominations of Christianity, and it's like each one is correct. And they're like, well, the other ones are wrong. It's like, well, yeah, I just wanted to come here for the brunch, and they're like, oh, when we said brunch, we meant little tiny pools of dog poop and warm water. That's how we celebrate our Lord. Yeah, and you're like, no, I don't. That's what? I'm okay. Bye. And they're like, you can't leave your soul. It's like, no, you can't have my soul.
Yes, and then red flag number 4 is pressure. And this is going back to what we talked about earlier, where it's the social norms of like not associating with people outside of this religious group. You need to disengage from anyone who is not in it. And I want to say the pressure of like cutting people off, that's usually a slower burn. Because when people do join new religions, like they're really excited about it, so they want other people in their lives to join, and then when they're like, I don't really think so, they don't want to like lose that connection, because they're like, but I want them to be as excited about this as I am. But then other people like within their religious group is like, no, they're bad for you, so then eventually like they will cut them off.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird sort of paradox in the sense that they want you to be cut off from people who aren't part of the group, but they simultaneously want to grow their numbers because they want more people contributing to their coffers or whatever. But I suppose it's a fine line. Like if your group gets too big, you can't exert enough control.
Yeah.
If it's not big enough, it won't last.
Yeah.
Which I suppose most cults don't, so.
That's true. Very true. And then our last red flag is shame.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
This is a big one.
I think even a lot of, as much as I've kind of been trying to differentiate religions from cults, I feel like a lot of them are in the same boat here. Lots of shame to go around.
It's, the way you see that this is more of a cult versus a religion is when it comes down to finances. And that in a church, if you aren't financially capable to give donations or do any of that, they're not going to pressure you about it and make you feel absolutely horrible. Like if it's, I need to feed my family, so I can't financially give to the church, they're not going to be like, well, you should have paid your 20%.
Right.
Which that is the amount for tithing.
Yeah,
certain Christianity is 20%.
That has always been a weird thing to me. Yeah, and that has always been weird where it's like, is that in the Bible? Because it's strangely specific. Like, why would they even have a number in terms of tithing for your in? Because, like, why would they even? Who's tracking that? Like, back in the times when the Bible was written, they're not going to be tracking like your income, especially like from any
I'm
kind
sorry,
of
it's
bartering you might be
10%.
doing. Oh no, okay.
10%, not 20.
Well,
Well, it's
much
still
more
like
reasonable.
a very specific percent.
Yeah.
And I guess that is supposed to come from the book of Hebrews.
Well,
I'm
and
not a religious person. I don't really know.
I'm not either, but I do know that there are some religious preachers like that certainly border on cult behavior a lot, and they push that pretty significantly. Like that 10% is first. That 10% comes from your gross income, not net after taxes. Like that 10% should be coming to God, and you should be prioritizing that no matter what. It's like, well, yeah, I gotta feed my family. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's one of those things where they'll use shame in a lot of ways, like, oh, you don't spend enough time with us. You don't spend enough time at church. You don't love God enough because you're not doing those things. Like, there's no way you love God as much as I do because I do all these things type of thing, which in some ways is kind of weird, but I feel like it kind of plays into like whenever parents have like a rivalry of like that one person for whatever reason. They're always like, that Barbara, like she's always doing this at like the bake sale for church.
And then Barbara comes by. Didn't see you at church the other weekend, Susan. Like,
I really missed you. And they're like,
that kind of like backhanded compliment thing. And it's like, yeah, well, Jimmy's still in the hospital. So, well, the only thing that's going to fix Jimmy is prayer. So it's like, well, maybe the hospital will help.
It always makes me think of Ned Flanders from The Simpsons.
Idly ho, neighborino.
I didn't see you at church this week. And it's like, so it's usually playing into that, but I feel that when it comes to cults, it is more on the extreme side.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that it is a lot more pressure, like shame, pressure. It's a lot more intense than most other religions.
Well, and I think it kind of comes back to what you were mentioning earlier too about like blackmail level stuff, where even with churches where they might shame you a little bit, it is usually like guilting you into like, you weren't at church last Sunday. We didn't see you at the bake sale. Everyone really misses you at that Sunday brunch. Whereas in a cult, it's like, yeah, we have these pictures of you with one of your students, and so you have to pay us money, or
we're gonna send this to the local newspaper, and we're gonna tell them that you're a predator.
Right. And it's like, but they're over 18, and it's like, we don't care. Nobody's gonna care.
We don't care. Nobody cares.
Your money. Yeah, it's like, give us all your money because we're a cult. Religion. We're a religion. It's like, you said cult, and it's like, no, we didn't.
No, we never said we're a cult. We're a religious organization.
Yeah, we're a religious. Yeah. Look, who has the pictures? Okay. I don't care what we call ourselves. We have the pictures. You're going to give us money. Give it.
Yeah. So now that we have an understanding of a cult and religious warning signs, we're going to talk about the Order of the Solar Temple.
Yay. It sounds so wonderful.
It sounds delightful in name and name alone.
I was just like, there's a lot that a name can do for you, because on just this, I know I'm sure we're gonna get into some deep shit, but like, I already want to go and visit. I want to see what they're about. It sounds so delightful. It's like they're based in like the Bahamas, and you just sit on the beach, and like, God is love. You know what God is? God is surfing. God is surfing on a warm day when that splash hits you and you go down in the water, but that's okay because it's safe, it's soft, it's warm. You wash up on the beach and you go out and do it again. That's the Solar Temple, guys. And then
it sounds like you need to start a surfing cult, Matt.
Yeah, I want to. I want to start the first like really truly positive cult. It's like, sure, I've brainwashed these people, but they're happy, aren't they? Look at them.
Look at them, and they're like, I can't stop dancing. They're like, They look so happy, but there's like tears streaming down their faces.
Look, I'm not going to be
like, I can't stop.
Look, they're not with me, okay? They can come on the same tour, but no, see all the people surfing? See, look at how happy oh, okay, that one's crying, but look, okay, I'm striking a balance, all right? I didn't tell them to dance. I did not tell them to dance. I don't know.
I did not force them.
I definitely didn't tell him to take his sandals off. It's not my fault his feet are bleeding, okay? He did give me $50,000, but I didn't ask him to, okay? Why did I agree to do this interview? This is over. Just put your hand in the camera. Fuck you guys.
No.
Yeah. Come back in a couple years when I got this locked down.
So the original name of the temple is the International Chivalristic Organization of the Solar Temple, or simply the Solar Temple.
Much better. I like Solar Temple. I like the ending. The rest of it, yeah, good. Get rid of that.
So it is defined as a cult / or religious sector, but a cult that
I didn't realize there was an or.
Yeah. That they claim to be based on the ideas of the Knights of Templar.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And their solar temple was founded by Joseph de Mambro and Luc Jouret in 1984 in Geneva, Switzerland.
1984?
Yes.
I thought this was going to be way older for some reason.
No, it is a young cult.
Ooh, this is a cult riding high on credit cards and cocaine, baby. Woo! 1984. Yes.
And they are based in France, Switzerland, and Canada.
I don't mean to jump ahead, but you keep saying are. Are they still around?
Yes, they are.
Oh no. Okay, well, move over, Scientology.
Yes, they are still around, and I guess before we get into everything, they say currently, and I have not found any evidence to go against what they are saying at this point in time, and that they are not repeating the mistakes of the past, and that these are things they no longer do, but I don't know what they do, because I couldn't find anything about what they currently do.
Either way, if your organization ever, and I mean ever, has to start a statement that way, maybe just start over.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's not a verbatim statement, but
still, like, if your goal is, look, we know that we ended up with a lot of murders and stuff in the past. We're not those same guys. Then don't be those same guys. Just change your name. Like just if you're gonna like try to distance yourself from the past, just start over. Just start a whole new thing. Don't be the Solar Temple anymore, as delightful as it sounds.
Yeah. So the original name of the temple when it started was l'Ordre International Chivalresque des Traditionnels Solaires, which they shortened to OICTS.
Oh, did you study French?
I did. I took French for 2 years in high school.
Well done.
And oddly enough, my French was a lot better than my Spanish was.
I thought you were going to say my English. And I'm like, what? Wow. That usually doesn't happen. Yeah,
English is totally not my first language, Matt.
Wow. I did not know you were French.
Oh. The things you know.
All I've got is a bad accent and weed. That's all I can do.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't practiced in years, but like I can order food, I can navigate, I can curse at people, so you know, I got the basics.
You got all the things that you really need.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then so they later changed the name and made it shorter to Ordre du Temple Solaire. So the Solar Temple.
It does sound better in French. Like I liked it when it was just Solar Order, but or Solar Temple, but I'm even more interested now that it's French.
It is. And the temple is currently associated with a string of murders and mass suicides beginning in 1994.
I know you said that this was going to be dark, But before, when I was joking about the murders in our past, I was just pulling that out of nowhere. I was just
No, it is very, very much
good.
the truth.
Okay, great. Yeah, just
And
stop being that temple then. Be something else. If that is in your past, say goodbye to the past.
yes, I believe in total the entirety of the amount of people that died from these across France, Switzerland, and Canada just from 1994 to I believe it is 1997 was the
Only 3 years.
Yep, that was the last one. It was like upwards of 75 people.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They went a little too hard.
Yeah, wow, they went real hard. Like, yeah, we are recreating the fuck, I had something going there. The Crusades. We're redoing the Crusades in Canada. We're going to Canada. We're going to crusade all over the continent. We did not quite make it to the United States. We killed 75 people. Not bad. Pretty good.
No.
I will say, at the very least, I've never heard of Scientology having like a known body count.
That is true. That is something I don't think I have heard in Scientology. But then a lot of people think of cults having some sort of violent tendencies and death being included from organizations like the People's Temple, Jim Jones.
Yeah. Right.
And oh my gosh, there's one up in Idaho with it starts with an R and the name is long and I am not very good at pronouncing it. But they basically like fought with the people in the surrounding areas. And that it was like a whole thing.
It has to be some kind of a ranch. There's some people moved onto some old abandoned ranch, and R is ranch of some sort, and they fought the townspeople.
The Netflix docuseries on it is called Wild Wild Country.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
Naturally.
Yes. And so a lot of their beliefs for the Solar Temple is Neo-Templarism, so a New Age military order of some kind, mixed with Rosicrucianism, which is the symbol of the Rose Cross, which is like that red cross where it like pokes out kind of on the edges.
I'm going to look that up because I now want to know what that is. Say that word again?
The Rosicrucianism. So just look up the Rose Cross.
Okay. I kind of want to try to make you say that again.
Please don't make me do it.
Okay. I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever... I mean, I've probably seen it before, but I don't recognize it. Huh.
Okay, I guess that is not actually, as I'm doing a Google search, not actually showing.
Oh, because it does say Rosenkreuz. Rosenkreuz? That sounds more German.
So,
Rosencrucianism, is that what you're saying?
Look up the Knights of Templar Cross. It's going to be like that second one. You see like the top, it like kind of cuts out to the two sides. And like,
yeah. No, yeah, I was actually going to make a reference to Assassin's Creed. I'm like, anyone who's played enough of Assassin's Creed is going to be all like, oh, those Templars. The classic.
It's the Knight of Templar's Cross.
Yep,
And then they mixed in a little bit of the New Age movement in there. Well, and they do have overall goals, which is to correct notions of authority and power in the world, in assisting humanity through a great transition and preparing for the second coming of Christ, who they see would be represented as a solar god king. So he's a god and a king. And then their overall hope for the world is to have further unification for Christian churches and uniting Christianity and Islam.
Well, that I agree with. That we should all... Why can't we all just be one people. I'm sure they would never do it through violence or oppression, so I'm sure it'll all be fine. We were just talking about how many different sects of Christianity there are. We can put them all into one. That's fine. Sign me up. I'm already excited for this cult. Let's do it.
And then they also grabbed in a little slight dabbling of the teachings of Aleister Crowley.
Oh, God.
So a little modern paganism in there, although I don't know how that fits in.
Okay.
But it's there.
Isn't he basically like a Satanist?
Yeah. He I can't remember if it is him or I think there's one other person that's like basically I actually think it's the guy who founded Satanism used the teachings of Aleister Crowley.
That sounds more correct without really having any specific info. But yeah,
we'll talk about it at some point because I do find it fascinating.
Aleister Crowley.
Which I will say is very different from the actual Church of Satan. Those are not the same thing.
I love that I did a quick search on him, and one of the first images that popped up, I'm not even sure it is him, but is a dude that looks like Willem Dafoe sitting naked in a puddle of water. And I'm like, that is not a flattering first look. I'm guessing he would have said, "Don't use that as my profile pic."
Yeah.
Oh, that is apparently him that is Crowley during a K2 expedition in 1902.
Oh.
I guess he was hot and dirty or something. No, yeah, he is butt naked. Okay. Well, that was a fun little tangent.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the cult.
Our cult has two leaders. We have Joseph de Mambro and Luc Jouret. So we're going to talk about Joseph first. He was born in rural southern France in 1924. He himself never went to college, but he instead learned the trades of clock making and jewelry and found success in that in his early years.
Sweet.
He was generally attracted to the occult and the joining of ancient and mythical order of the Rosicrucians in 1956.
Yeah.
So in his 20s, he's figuring stuff out. I guess it'd be his 30s, actually.
That is
finding religion.
Yeah, that is a wide net of figuring stuff out. I do a little bit of baking, a little bit of clock making, and dabble in like witchcraft and the occult. I'm getting there. I'm figuring shit out.
So he ended up joining the AMORC, and the group itself had some great success following World War II. And he became the head of the lodge in Nimes, France. And he remained a member of their organization until 1969.
Wow.
And then, in 1970, he gave up his career entirely, which is when he left being the head of the lodge in Nimes.
No, making clocks.
No, he became a lecturer.
Oh.
I know. I think he gave up his clock dreams before that.
No, he got clock blocked.
Oh,
no. No. Poor whatever his name was, I already forgot. Oh, you bastard.
Or Joseph.
Joseph. Yeah, Joseph. All he wanted to do was turn a few cranks, but no. He got stuck in the life of academia. As the story goes, it's so common. We've all heard it.
Then in 1973, he founded the Center for Preparation of the New Age in Annemasse, France.
Ugh. He needs a marketing person. That name sucks.
So 3 years later, he established a communal group called Le Pyramide, the Pyramid, in Geneva, Switzerland.
I know it wasn't the right word, but it sounded like pure meat to me. And I'm like, whoa, dude, your names are getting weirder and weirder. I see. Le Pyramide.
Le Pyramide was then superseded by the Golden Way Foundation 2 years later. So that is now the name of the organization. The Golden Way, which...
The Golden Way.
is a way better name.
Although I did like pyramid. It's better than
I did like the pyramid. Better than
the prep school, whatever.
The center for the preparation of the new age.
I thought he nailed it with pyramid or pure meat. I liked both of those. The
Pure meat.
golden
Join
way.
my religion.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's all about breeding really happy animals, you know. I mean, we're not into synthetic meat yet. That's a few decades away, but we want to just, you know, like we don't have to treat animals cruelly even if we're going to eat them. So come on in and join the cult of pure meat. Also, you might have to give up some of your body for meat. That's just part of it, but not like your brain. That will lead to insanity. So, but like, you know, we might we might take a leg. Human thighs, oh my god. You guys. That rhymes. That we put on a t-shirt. Human thighs, you guys. TM. It rhymes. In parentheses, it rhymes. He really needs a marketing guy, I'm telling you.
He does. And then during his time in Geneva, he furthered his teaching skills, and during this time, he really hit his charisma streak in that he was presenting himself very highly to people and claiming that he was a representative and part of the Great White Brotherhood, which totally sounds like a white supremacy group.
It totally does. I stick with Golden Way, dude. Golden Way was okay. I still didn't like it as much as Pyramid.
Still Golden Way.
Yeah. No, but he's okay. So the Great White Way is
to be a person of the Great White Brotherhood, meaning that he is a perfected being of great power who is here to spread religious and spiritual teachings to people. Still
not back. I'm still gonna be hesitant. Still sounds real racist, but I'm willing to give him a chance and assume that it's just a poor name and that it's better than it sounds.
It is a poor name. I don't necessarily know if it is better than it sounds, and that he claimed to be a reincarnation of Moses and the Egyptian pharaoh Akhenaten.
I mean, why wouldn't you just go Jesus? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, Moses
maybe
was
that's
cool,
too far-fetched for people. They're like, yeah, okay. Whereas Moses.
Okay. In France, of all places. All right. Or is he in Canada now?
He's in Geneva, so he's in Switzerland.
All right. Oh, so neither of the places I said. Perfect. He's Moses. Moses made it all the way to Switzerland. All right, cool. Thanks, guy. Sweet.
So then,
and he's a white guy. All right.
Yeah. And then in I believe it is the late 1980s, he invited Luc Jouret to lecture at the Golden Way Foundation.
Nice.
And they found that they had mutual beliefs. And in that relationship, the Solar Temple was born.
Hooray! The Great White Way. We made it, guys.
So now we got to talk about Luc Jouret.
Luc Jouret. His name almost sounds like lecturer, so that works out really well. Is he a reincarnation of Noah?
He is not a reincarnation of anybody, from what I understand.
Pitiful. Standing next to Moses, and he's just a guy. Bullshit.
You know, his stuff like comes to play in like different areas. They very much like tag team stuff.
Yeah, they all say that. They're all of these famous duos always say that, like, no, it's, you know, it's half and half, and it's like one guy's literally the reincarnation of Moses, and the other guy's name is what his profession is. He's a lecturer, and he just showed up in Switzerland, and he's gonna be part of a religion. I don't buy it, but okay, I'm willing to give him a fair shake.
So Luc was born October 18th, 1947, in Kikwit, Belgian Congo.
Belgian Congo, like in Africa?
Yes.
Huh.
So he is considered Belgian because his parents are Belgium.
Okay.
And this was while Belgium occupied and owned, and I'm saying owned in air quotes, Congo. Right. They colonized Congo. Mm-hmm. And so in the 1950s, his parents brought him back to Belgium. So they moved back to Belgium so that they could attend Free University of Brussels, which he ended up going to later for his medical degree. He got a degree in medicine. And during his college years, he joined the Walloon Communist Group. And because of that, he was surveilled by the police for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this would have been what, the late 60s then, and the USSR is a big deal, and
it would have been the late 60s, early 70s. So yeah.
And he's going to all these communist rallies and whatnot. Yeah. They're like, yeah, let's keep an eye on this fucking guy. He's from the Congo, you know. And they're like, well, this is Belgium. And they're like, no, but he's from Congo.
Yeah. He's Belgian, but he was born in Africa.
He's a Congo communist.
He is. And after he graduated college with his medical degree, he then joined the Belgian army and became a paratrooper for a little bit.
Oh.
Well, following his time.
I don't think I even knew Belgium had an army.
They do. I don't think it is a big army, but they do have one.
Big enough for paratroopers. So yeah. Good for you, Belgium.
Yeah. And then following his time in the military, he began studying homeopathic medicine. And
this is after he's a doctor?
Yes.
Or a medical degree, at least of some sort. He's odd turn, but okay.
Yes. And he became a homeopathic practitioner in France, which I'm going to say real quickly, homeopathy is technically considered a pseudo-scientific method of alternative methods and alternative medicine. And that this is more of the spiritual healing, using essential oils to cleanse your soul type of thing versus holistic medicine, which is looking at a person as a whole versus just the symptoms. So those things are not the same.
That's what holistic meant? Or means, I guess?
Oh. It means looking like at the body as a whole. So being like, hey, you have these symptoms, which could be these things, but we also understand X, Y, and Z about you as a human.
Right. So I think I got you. Interesting.
Yeah. So kind of going into like how having a very stressful job can contribute to health factors versus being like, you're having weird symptoms. And it's like, you have this because you have a stressful job and you are feeling stress in a lot of ways type of thing.
Right. Presumably trying to find the stronger underlying cause to a problem rather than just treating the symptoms as they are presented. Interesting.
Yes. So what he does in his homeopathic medicine is more of along those lines of being like, oh, if you use X amount of drops of this essential oil in your water every day, you will never get sick type of alternative medicine. So then he, after going through his journey of spiritual healing and traveling the world, he then became close to de Mambro while he was lecturing in Geneva at the Golden Way Foundation. And in finding that they had similar beliefs, the way they set up their structure of their religion is that de Mambro would set up and prepare the rituals and like physically leading the group. And Jaurès traveled and obtained new members and basically invited them into a club. And then within that club, only invited certain people into the religion. So it's very exclusive.
Right. Yeah, so they're doing a really good job of headhunting the people that are like perfectly suited to be in their little thing. They're like, we think that you would be a perfect addition to our club.
Yes.
Please, give us all your money.
Yes. And that in being selective like that, it kind of makes people want to join more.
Oh, yeah, a certain sense of exclusivity. That can definitely drum up interest.
Yeah. So then going over the structure of the solar temple, starting on the innermost circle, they called this the synarchy of the temple. Synarchy. And it was members that were unknown to everyone. Unless you were actually in that group.
Oh, okay.
And say if you're in the group, you know who it is, but no one outside of those the grouping knows who is in it.
Interesting.
So that totally means they had secret meetings middle of the night.
Mm-hmm. That is some creepy shit. That's like the skulls creepy, that like weird fraternity thing.
Yep. So then the next outer ring was 33 members of the organization, and they were known as the elder brother of the Rosy Cross. So they were the elders.
Yeah. The Rosy Cross.
Yep. You got the inner circle, you got the elders, and then you have the Council of the Order, and it is run by a regional member and 3 elders, and those are the people who formed the lodges where like people would go and practice and all of that. And then they had like the outer ring of members. So they had like one person within like that more outer ring that were like a step above because they're the regional member for that area, but they weren't like the elder. So they had people they answered to. And they all answered to our 2 head guys, Luke and Joseph.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty good setup for whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They've got like a whole feudal system essentially.
They do.
I wonder why they wanted 30, because you said it's specifically 33 elders of the Rosy Cross.
33. I don't know why 33.
That just seems like an odd, maybe some Trinity-based thing. Although there's 2 leaders.
Yeah, I honestly could not tell you. But
whatever.
In all of these structures, they had progressions. So in the order, so like you join the order like at the lodge.
Right.
You have levels and grades, and there were 3 grades per level.
Yeah.
So in order to get to that like top, you'd have to go up 3 grades. So to be like the top of level 3, you'd have to go through a total of 9.
So yeah, this really is like France's off-brand Scientology.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, like it's Hydrox and Oreo all over again.
Yeah.
Except with religion / possibly cult.
So then each of these levels had a name. So if you were in the bottom, you'd be a brother of Parvis.
Yeah.
Once you graduated that, you would become the Knights of Alliance. And then the last one, you would become a brother of the Ancient Times.
All right. These guys they really need one person who's like coming up with these names because they're really hit or miss.
Yeah, they're
I mean, do the Brotherhood, the Brothers of the Ancient Times, do you know, like, do they do a lot of research?
I have no idea what any of these levels do.
I'm willing to go out on a limb.
On them was hard.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that they didn't do anything that was like related to ancient times. They just thought it was a cool name. And they're like, here's the 3rd level. You get more brandy than the rest of the guys.
Maybe.
That's it. They paid more money.
That's possible. And then each of the the lodges had altars, rituals, and costumes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Ritual garments. If you look up photos, they had like these white robes with like the big red cross.
Oh, yep. That makes sense.
They usually would get them through like different stages of advancement, which required buying expensive jewelry, regalia, initiation fees, and the actual garments for the religious ceremonies.
And wouldn't you know that we here at the Solar Temple, we provide all of that for a nominal fee
of $3,000.
Right,
I have no
exactly.
idea what the price point was, actually.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's all speculation, but I would not be surprised if they were like, so here's the costume.
Yeah.
This is our dress code. And you can have so many pieces of jewelry, so much flair, as we like to call it. And we sell all of that right here. So you
Yes, we
can.
do.
There's a little bit of a markup, but you're paying for the convenience. So you know, how many thousands of dollars can we put you down for? All of it? Good.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
And then during these ceremonies, they would wear the crusader type robes and were to hold in awe of a sword, which Demembra had. So he'd be like, yeah, my sword. Ooh. And he told everyone it was an authentic Templar artifact given to him 1,000 years ago in a previous life.
Oh, okay. Is it weird that I'm more comfortable with him lying about being 1,000 years old rather than like
I got
like
this 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, I'm strangely more comfortable with the idea that he just is lying about being 1,000 years old than claiming because even I'm not trying to like downplay the idea of past lives. I don't think that can necessarily be proven or disproven exactly, but if you have latent memories or whatever. But how did he get the sword back? Because he's not the same person. Like he wouldn't just have it in his possession. Just lie that you're 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
That seems. Oh, I kind of love that. No, this is a sword that I got from myself, from a previous version of myself.
Yeah.
1,000 years ago.
And
all right.
Yeah, a lot of members of the group are considered to be part of the elite. And a lot of them are higher on the socioeconomic ladder than just like the everyday person. They also were kind of headhunted, so it makes sense.
Right, yeah.
And it's also because there's a lot of their fees are generally very high. So like you have to kind of have the money to be a part of this group or have influence of power in that like there were quite a few policemen.
Okay.
So either you had high financial leverage or you had high social leverage in that like if you're part of the law and you're being part of this group, like you can't get in trouble with the law, I guess is like the idea.
Well, and you could probably, so if you don't bring a lot of money into the group, you can at least bring influence. And it's like, oh shit, this guy got caught not paying a fine or something. And it's like, oh, well, we'll get our cop buddy down there and he'll make it go away.
Yeah. And
he doesn't bring money, but he brings in bullshit, whatever.
One of their biggest beliefs is that a sign of the end of the world would be the birth of a godlike child.
Oh, like, did you ever see The Never-Ending Story?
No.
Oh, wait, that's the childlike empress. Different thing. Never mind.
Oh,
okay. It's very close. It's similar.
Yeah.
She runs the Never-Ending Story or something. She's the queen of the whole thing.
Ah.
And then the nothing comes and it starts removing everyone. So she's sort of godlike, but she's not referred to as a god. And she's not even the one who saves the story in the end. It's the readers, because if we hold the characters in our imaginations, then they continue to live, and thus the story never ends.
Ah.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, you guys, check it out.
So we have now reached the crimes.
Oh, finally.
Temple.
Kind of forgot how bad these guys were supposed to be. I've just been so focused on their costumes and dumb names that I forgot how terrible they're going to be.
We're taking a left turn here.
Oh,
a nice left turn. So they officially changed their name to the Solar Temple in 1990.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they basically created the organization based off of their shared experiences, beliefs, and pulling from other religious cults. So
Okay.
it
I mean, may
was
as well.
after some time of having this church, Demembra's own son, which I'm not sure if it is Eli or Eli. So it is Elie.
I would probably go Eli, but it's
I
also
want to
French,
say
isn't it?
Eli. So I'm gonna say Eli.
Elie? Okay.
Elie.
That's Elie. Yeah, Eli sounds good. Let's go with that.
So his son became skeptical of the teachings, and
Oh no.
he is like, things don't seem right. He was trying to get people to look into how lavishly his father and Luke lived.
Yeah, he's doing some
He's like,
whistleblowing.
yeah, he was doing some, and he was trying to speak out about the falsities of the organization, but unfortunately it didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
He also didn't try to leave the organization, so I don't think that helped.
What can I say? I tried. Screw it. I mean, I live in the lap of luxury, so I tried to tell people if they won't listen, screw it. I'm just going to keep eating all of my meat, whatever.
So then,
pure meat.
In October of 1994, one of the members, the infant son of Tony Duteau, his son Emmanuel, who is 3 months old, was killed at the group's center in Morin Heights in Quebec.
My God. What? Like, by an accident, hopefully?
No, Demembra declared this baby the Antichrist and ordered the execution of said 3-month-old child.
Wow.
In which he was stabbed multiple times with a wooden stake.
Wow. 3 months. Did he by any chance say why he thought this was the case?
No, I think part of it is that Demembra had already declared that one of his children could have been more saintly, and then in this maybe was like, I don't know. It's not clear as to why. Some people think because then his parents and the rest of the Duteau family was also murdered in the same exact way.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And some people were like, oh, well, like, they were trying to rise in status and like they were overstepping their boundaries type of deal, which very alarming. I don't know why this didn't create an exodus of people.
Right. Well, especially like if they're just that brainwashed, or if they're all in some way part of it. But the idea that like usually there is some kind of action to leave or whistleblow or something, but that was his own son from before and nothing happened to him. And then seemingly for no reason, he just declares that like this guy's 3-month-old son and then his whole family, they all got to die.
And it is possible that because of his son creating kind of some skepticism around what is happening, he decided that they needed to make a bold move, and this was the bold move, which I feel like is a lot.
Yeah, they needed to tighten the leash, and they basically choked everyone with it. They tightened that leash real hard. And the idea too that he's like, well, I cannot kill my own son, but I can kill an entire family. That's reasonable, eh?
So then soon after this, Demembra and Jure told their congregation that the apocalypse was near and it was imminent, and that they needed to prepare themselves, and told them that they needed to transport themselves ahead of time, ahead of their initial schedule, to get an early start on inhabiting the planet orbiting Sirius. I don't know where that comes in any of their religious beliefs.
This took a weird Heaven's Gate sort of turn. What the fuck?
Yes.
Well, that is also, now that you mention it, that is actually within the realm of like Scientology and Mormonism, you have your own planet kind of thing. Yeah, so that's not as weird as it sounds, that is still kind of within the normal realm of certain religions.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But the getting there like ahead of time or something, that feels really Heaven's Gate-ish to me. Like, we're going to shed these mortal coils and transport ourselves on a new plane.
Yeah.
To the next place.
And then I believe the next major incident was I believe this was September of 1994. And there is multiple things that happened all at the same time. So the first being that Demembra and 12 members in the order performed a Last Supper type ritual.
Okay, not
great at all.
Yeah, because that also generally implies that there's gonna be plenty of death.
There
were.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking, like, the Last Supper, in terms of like the biblical sense, implies one person's going to die. I can't help feeling like you're leading us down a sort of Game of Thrones Red Wedding scenario.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I feel like, I mean, that's the next thing I'm going to say is that there were mass suicides and murders carried out in Sherry and Sylvan, which were 2 villages in Switzerland where members were.
Wow. They took out villages?
So,
well, or like that's where they were, not necessarily the entire village. That's even worse than a red wedding. Holy crap.
This is a total of 45 people. And that
holy shit.
There were 15 inner circle members, and all 15 of them, because they're part of the upper echelon, were committed suicide with poison. Oh. And the other 30 members were murdered by being shot.
Oh my God.
And asphyxiated.
Oh God.
Although many of them appeared to have been drugged. So
that's nice. At least I would like if I had any inkling that I was going to be brutally murdered, I'd be like, yeah, give me a bunch of drugs. Yeah. Like if I pass out, that's cool. Just do it after. If you're like, especially if you're gonna take me with a gun, I think like just give me a bunch of booze. I'll like if there's no way out of this, I'd rather be drunk. You can just pop me off. That's fine. If you're going to suffocate me with a bag, yeah, I want to be passed out. I don't want to be awake. Oh my God, that is horrifying.
Yeah. Many of the victims were found in a secret underground chapel lined with mirrors, which I don't like.
Oh my God, can you imagine being like on the police force that goes in there? Just walking into this mirror-filled body cave? Oh my God.
And they were all dressed in their ceremonial robes, laying in a circle with like their feet at the center. So all their feet were like closer together.
Jeez.
Oh, and God. Most of them had bags over their heads, but it didn't look like there was a struggle. And almost all of them had been shot in the head. And this was of the 30 members, not the inner circle.
Right. The ones who potentially weren't going along with the plan.
Yeah.
That is still a little Heaven's Gate-ish. Because, the bags over their heads and the being laid out just so. Although, the way you're describing it here, it does sound like they maybe weren't willing participants. Yeah.
I think a good amount of them outside of the inner circle were not willing participants of this. There were a few members found in one of the ski chalets in the village, and a lot of them were children.
Oh no!
I know.
Don't kill kids.
And
I get that, like, you think that you're going to bring them with you on this new journey to another planet or something, but goddamn, just
some of
it doesn't work. Leave your kids there.
Some of it is, if it's like what they did in Jonestown, is that they killed the children first And then it was so traumatic for the parents that like they didn't want to live. So like they were more willing.
Oh, I see what you. Yeah.
It's I don't know if that is the case here, but that
But you mean in a
does
sense of
happen in cults.
yeah, but you mean like that the kind of inner circle people might have killed the kids so that it made it easier to convince the parents.
Yeah, because they're like, well, your kids
to
are
go through
already
with it.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh my
just
God.
horrible.
That
But
is absolutely
the
terrifying.
way they discovered that this tragedy had happened is that the last few alive members, before committing suicide, set fires to the building. So they actually were called in for fire
Oh, wow. Okay.
versus actual death. And some people actually left like farewell notes and journals and were like, "Oh, I'm escaping the hypocrisies of the world. Like I'm going to a better place." And so
Okay, yes, that
chilling.
is really Heaven's Gate-ish. That is
It is. And
wow.
somehow 3 children did manage to escape the whole ordeal. And that I don't know anything about them outside of that. I think it's probably best, actually.
Yeah. They're gonna have interesting lives, but at least they made it.
Yeah. And both Demembra and Jure, along with Demembra's son, Eli, were amongst the dead.
Oh.
So you have the 45 in the villages, and then you have the 12 in the last, or 13 actually, in the Last Supper ritual.
But then how are they still around, like, as a church? I mean, other people just kept it going
Other
for
people
some.
kept it going. I don't think they had like a specific leader.
Okay.
There was another suicide attempt, like a group suicide, that was thwarted in the late 1990s, so it did not actually happen.
Oh, okay, good.
There were
Are there any details on how it was thwarted? Like,
no,
okay, I just
they're
feel
like,
like there has to be
yay.
someone on the inside was like telling the cops, like, "Hey, this shit's going down. You guys got to get over here and stop this. This is crazy."
I think so. And there were a few other suicides / murders that were near the equinox that I think in 1995 that people thought was to have been from the group, but they could not confirm or deny that.
Mm-hmm.
There was another mass death that occurred between the night of December 15th and 16th in 1995. And they didn't discover them until December 23rd.
Wow.
They found 16 deceased people in the Vector Mountains in France. I think they were in like a cabin. And they were in a circle like they were at the previous mass suicide murders. And they did find that all of them had, or that of the 16, 2 of them shot everyone else, and then those 2 committed suicide.
Boy, I hope they don't have tax exempt status. These guys really need to be. Jesus, this is horrible. I can't believe that they're still allowed to just exist.
Oh. And
because even if they're like, well, we don't do that anymore. It's like, we don't know that. It's happened multiple times in the 90s.
Yeah. And
Jesus.
In the group of 16, one of the people who had died was Edith Bonlieu, and she was a French Olympian for the women's downhill skiing, and she competed in the 1956 Winter Olympics.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you, no one's immune. You can be a top tier athlete, and they're like, hey, do you want to kill yourself? And you're like, yeah, all right.
No, I mean, it could be that she was one of the people who did not choose suicide.
Well, that's true. I keep forgetting that. It wasn't necessarily by choice.
Yeah.
They invite you to a potluck, you show up, and they're like, "What? Wait, why are there guns?" And oh my god.
And then On the morning of March 23rd, 1997, 5 members of the Solar Temple took their lives in Saint Casimir, Quebec. They set the house on fire because that was, for whatever reason, that was one of their beliefs, is that the way to transcend was through physical burning.
Yeah.
Which is why there were so many
cremate.
fires.
Jeez.
And in having this house fire, someone called it in and they found 3 teenagers, aged 13, 16, and 14, along with the children of one of the deceased couples. And they were all alive.
Oh, okay.
Right now. They were drugged and put in the shed behind the house. So I want to say that the initial thought was like, we'll drug the kids, they'll never know, and the shed will then catch on fire from the house.
Oh my God. Just poison them. Like, drug them and poison them. Why would you take a chance on that? Like, just poison them if you're going to do that. Oh my God. It
very much could be that the person who drugged them wanted them to have a chance to escape.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
Maybe they felt like they couldn't, so they wanted to give them a chance. And they're like, yeah, I totally poisoned the kids. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yup. Sure. And then I definitely doused the barn in gasoline. That certainly. It's going to catch like a box of tinder.
Yeah.
And we will meet them on the new planet. It's going to be great. And then meanwhile, they're like, oh, they'll just wake up after a big dose of
like NyQuil or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then the kids wake up and their parents are in a fire. Oh my God. These people are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, you did say it was going to get dark, but gee,
it's very dark. And then
they are living up to the solar flare name, though.
They are going down in flames.
They are definitely touching that star in the sky.
Yeah. There was a Swiss musician and composer who was arrested and indicted to France because they believed him to be a leader of the Solar Temple in the late 90s.
Wow.
So he was indicted for participation in a criminal organization, so that France sees them as a criminal organization and not a religion.
That's good. Yeah.
He was acquitted in 2001, and French prosecutors appealed the decision, and he went on a second trial in October of 2006 and was acquitted less than 2 months later. So I have absolutely no idea if this guy was or was not a part of it. I'm not saying his name just because I feel like I have no idea. Did not hear of him at all before this, so I don't feel that it is necessary.
Well, and for something that's this heavy, like, I generally don't necessarily have faith in the system exactly, but I do think statistically, if you are acquitted of a crime, I think we do a decent job of statistically finding the people who are supposed to be let off versus the people who are sent to prison and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I do think that, like, if he was acquitted of something that horrific, it's probably likely that he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and he was acquitted twice, which is very different from our system in that you cannot be tried for the same thing twice or the same crime.
Oh, right. I guess I assumed it was like an appeal. Well, I guess if you're acquitted, they don't bring it against you again, I suppose.
Yeah, they can't necessarily. I think if they do appeal, they have to have new evidence supporting it. But again, this is also French court. I don't understand their court systems.
Right. Maybe it's it does. Double jeopardy does seem like a weird law, though, where it's like, well, because I've the little that I've been learning about it recently, there's quite a bit of extra shit that has to happen for you to be tried again. And it's like, well, if you find like DNA evidence that irrefutably links them to a crime, like
that should
throw them in jail. Like that would counteract the previous ruling. It's like, this wasn't at the fucking trial. What the hell?
Yeah. So, as far as I know, there have been no further crimes of the religious group.
I definitely was not expecting it to come so close, even as like 2006. That's insane. I mean, I think that was the
Yeah.
one you were talking about of the composer guy who got acquitted, but still, just like that, the church is even still active, kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. They are still active, and there have not been any other tragedies since, as far as we
Yeah.
know.
Well, and I was going to say the nice thing about suicide cults is they tend to peter out, but there are still a few Heaven's Gate members out there trying to preach the quote good word.
Yeah. Yeah. That is very true.
Oh, I don't think Heaven's Gate had any children. I think that
I
was
don't
all.
They did.
As hard as it can be to find a silver lining in any of this, at least Heaven's Gate was all like consenting adults. Like they were all a commune, they lived together, and they sort of survived as a unit, and they weren't bringing in families to basically destroy them.
Yeah.
Well,
And that is our cult. That is the solar temple.
oh, I
Oh.
Oh my God. Well, in terms of our pairings for tonight, my only real regret is that I didn't make more drink. I felt like I could have used a little bit more alcohol for that story. That was really, really dark. I think it was actually undersold. You did say it was going to get dark, and I'm like, well, I'll make a joke of having like a nice, light, and happy sort of pairing to go with this. I'm like, I do think it helped keep my spirits up a little bit.
Yeah, that is, I mean,
Ugh.
when with stories like this, that's really all that the drink and food pairing can do is be like, oh, like this
Yeah.
sucks, but like I do have a nice drink that is tasty and I like
Yeah.
it.
At least I'm really bringing out the flavor of my treat by my tears.
Oh,
This
oh
is,
no.
yeah, I mean,
That is so sad.
it's a horrible story, but at least my little pastries are better. Oh my God.
Oh,
I
rough.
want to look up real quick, just like, so do you know they're not active in the United States at all, but
No,
they're
I
just like in
believe they are
Canada?
still in Canada. I don't believe they are in France, but they might still be in Switzerland. From what I saw, it was Canada.
Yeah, like the main sort of
Yeah.
area, or like
I'd
the
say
main hub.
considering that France sees them as a criminal organization akin to like the mafia
Yeah,
and like a gang, I would be shocked if they were running there.
yeah. I would certainly hope not. That is really horrifying.
The one with the baby is what really
Yeah.
gets me because it's a baby.
It's a baby. Yeah, like just
This baby
uh,
barely has a personality. This baby maybe rolls over. Maybe.
well, and yeah, like when you
This
first
baby's
mentioned
learning
it,
to smile.
yeah, I definitely misheard it, or like my brain just kind of translated it to be 3 years old instead of 3 months, just because.
You
Not
don't
that
want to
this
think
is a
about that happening to
right.
a 3-month-old.
Well, and not that this is justified, but I can at least sort of understand someone's twisted psyche being like, oh, that 3-year-old is such a piece of shit. He's such an asshole and he keeps doing it. Like, I can at least grasp how someone might focus on a child that they feel is being unruly. It's like a 3-month-old is about as innocent as it gets in terms of like, yeah, they don't even really have a personality so much developed. Like, how do you designate them as an antichrist when
Yeah.
which I think is correct. Like we were speculating about that being them trying to tighten their grip on the people, so to like after his son was
Yeah.
being a dissenter. So I mean, he probably didn't give a shit that it was a 3-month old. He was just
Yeah,
like, we need
no.
to, yeah,
It could be
we
that
need.
that family irritated him a little bit and he's like, "You know what?
Oh yeah.
Here we go." And that was it.
Oh
Yeah.
well.
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
I
Not
also I was also just glancing over some of these. I kept thinking you were saying the dude's name was Demand Bro.
Oh,
And I was gonna make a joke
Remembra?
about him having, yeah, Demand Bro. Yeah, he's Demand Bro.
He
And I
is
thought he was like a
Remembra.
surfer and Demand Bro. Ugh, I thought he
Different
was a surfer.
name.
Yeah, I
No,
thought he
it's
was a
all right.
surfer guy with a man bun.
As far as I know, he is not. But I do think it is interesting that him and Luke had like a 20-year age difference. And they're like, yeah, we believe in the
Yeah.
same things. I'm like, man, you know how many people in our generation I know who don't agree with people 10 years older than them, let alone
Yeah.
20? So many. So
Excuse me.
many.
Excuse me, my young friend. Would you like to start a cult with me? I think we're on the same wavelength here.
Yeah.
We're going to be great.
I feel like that is a little more shocking than anything else.
Like that they were just the age difference
Just the age
in
difference
terms
and
of
that
like
being
starting a
so
cult.
compatible with starting a cult. Because I feel like most
Yeah.
cult leaders are like similar age or they're descendants of like the main person and they like trickle down.
Yeah. They kind of get born into it and then they're already
They're just
indoctrinated from
indoctrinated.
birth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just their way of life and they're like, well, when my dad goes on to the next level, then I will take over his station here on Earth until
That's how
it is
Leah
my time.
Remini was brought into Scientology was like through her
Oh
parents.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it makes sense and it's like it happens. It's like
Yeah. Well,
we've been here
it's
for
just
generations.
yeah, and it's just normal to you. It's just like this, and everyone else outside of it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like all the quote unquote normal people, they're really the crazy ones. And they're like, they're all going to go to hell and they're going to burn forever. And it's like, I'm just glad that we're safe, even though they have to do all these weird things and give all their money and stuff to this cult. But
Well, I mean, that's like the FLDS, which is the fundamentalist
oh,
of
yeah.
Mormonism, also colloquially called polygamy or the polygamists, which
Mm,
it is a very different thing than being a polygamist like what you see on TLC Sister Wives. And that as the fundamentalist, you dress a certain way, you do things a certain way. And that like even though it's like a branch of Mormonism, most Mormons see that as very extreme.
right.
It,
And yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about this, but I think the FLDS is even often more like arranged marriages. So it's not so
yeah.
much a thing of consent, and I think a lot of times they're underaged, and it's
Most of them are. And
yeah.
I can say watching Keep Sweet and Obey, also on Netflix, which is specifically about the FLDS.
That's a
And
creepy title.
it is. Well, that was the motto of one of the leaders is that
Oh
you keep sweet and obey.
yeah.
It I usually don't get super emotional watching like documentaries and I cried watching it. Like it bothered me so much.
Oh wow.
But it's also something they've known for generations. Like they all grew up with
Yeah.
it. Their parents grew up with it. Like they don't know different,
Right.
which is always so hard with like leaving any sort of culty religious organization.
Yeah. Well, and then it even kind of brings in the idea of even if they were of age, like are they let's say that you have a seemingly consensual relationship, except you were brought up in this kind of twisted environment of keep sweet and I already forgot it. Oh my god, my
Obey.
brain really is that keep sweet. Yeah, there you go. Like by the time they got to age of consent, it's just normal to them. But one could argue that like they never were able to give consent. So even if they're of like legal age, they have such a twisted perspective on it that even if they sort of think that they have given consent to this, they've just been sort of twisted into it. So if they were able to see the whole picture in a different light, they might see it as horrific and they wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, I cannot speak to every situation, but I can say from
Yeah.
watching it, there's quite a few instances where it was, hey, you're meeting with this elder of the church, they're telling you you are marrying this person and you're doing it on this day.
Ugh.
And it's like, I don't want to marry this person, like maybe I like someone else. Or you're like, I don't know that person, I don't want to marry them. And then
Yeah.
you're at like 15, 16 being forced to marry this guy that's like 45.
Yeah, that's
And there
ugh.
I can say I personally have a lot of problems with it, especially after watching that. And like I had
Yeah, for
issues with it
sure.
before, but watching that and knowing some of the things that were actually happening that people are so unaware of bothers me on so many levels. And
Yeah.
I don't want to like spoil it for anyone who has not watched it, but if you have, I'm sure most of you would know what I am talking about.
Yeah.
It's cults are a problem.
They are. It's kind of amazing that they still are around. Not even just this one in particular, but just in general. That this day and age, that it's still such a thing.
I
It's
know. You think of cults happening from like the 50s to the 70s, and you're like, that
right.
doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, it's impossible with this. What with this age of technology and information at the ready, there's no way that it could happen. And then it's like, no, now they use the internet
They'll
to
say they
draw
either
more
use
people
it
in.
to draw more people, or when you're a part of it, you don't have that, or you have
Yeah,
limited access to it, which it's like they use this in some countries where they don't want certain information to be negative about, like, hey, we don't, I'm going to say North Korea is a great example of like, we don't want bad
yeah,
information about our leader on the internet accessible to our people. So they censor it.
right. Yeah, I think China does that pretty heavily too. Like they have a pretty broad access to the internet, but there's a lot of stuff that the government just completely excludes. They lock it out.
I believe so. I I know I've heard stories that like there are things that's like I can't look that up, or like I can't access it, or it's like looks really
Oh yeah.
weird.
Oh yeah, I think maybe it's changed now, but I do remember hearing about that like in high school and as time went on, but like a lot of places where they were warring in the Middle East and people were trying to like contact people that they knew in other countries, but they were locked out. Well, although sometimes like the technology was literally destroyed, but they would
Yeah.
often have such a stranglehold over information that they couldn't even use things like Facebook to like chat with
Yeah.
people.
Insane times we live in.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does seem like the more technology we create to like help ourselves and like make our lives better, it simultaneously there's always a flip side, it seems, to every single thing that we create. And it in
Yeah.
some way helps us and in some way like leads us to destroying ourselves.
Yeah. So that is all I have for our episode today. Do we have
Oh
any pairings?
yeah.
Or
I
not pairings, I guess ratings. That's what
yeah.
I meant. Ratings for our
Um
pairings.
I'm gonna give the pastries a 7. I actually really like them, and I think that they are easy to make. I might even make them for some kind of party at some point.
Oh,
They're really good fresh out of the oven, and they are also good. I actually left these in the fridge for like 4 days, and they're a
ooh,
pretty good treat to just pull out and eat. I'm
yeah,
giving the drink a 9. I really like the drink. It's 3 ingredients. It's really easy to make. It is tasty as hell, and it seems to have a perfect ratio of like not too much alcohol, but also not too much sugar.
yeah.
So it's easy to drink, but also kind of easy to regulate. I don't know. It doesn't. It's just it's perfect.
It is a good one. I would give the drink a 9. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if there's anything that I would change to necessarily get that up to a 10, but I enjoyed it. And then I would say for the food, I'd give it a 7. I really want to try it with like a peach jalapeno jelly.
Ooh,
so it's like a little bit of like a sweet and spicy with the puff pastry. I feel like that would be really good.
I will admit, this is probably the most complex thing that, because this I just made up. I didn't read this anywhere, and it's very simple, so it's not like but I was a little worried that it might not have enough sweetness or tartness or something. I think you're right. I think peach jalapeno thing might be excellent. Even like a little bit of I think I would also add a little bit more cream cheese. I would want a little thicker layer. I put it on a little too thin. But,
I did the same thing. It was good though. I still have some that I'm gonna be snacking on this week. I'm excited about that.
Me too. Well, with that, thanks everybody for listening. And if you want to send us any recommendations or hate mail, you can email us at peculiarpairingspod@gmail.com. Tweet mean things to us at peculiarpairingpod peculiarpairpod, or check out our cool pictures we got on Instagram at peculiarpairingspod. And you can also check us out on Patreon.
Yeah. And I guess a little preview for some of the stuff we have coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Some of our upcoming topics are going to be the Valentine's Day Massacre. I'm going to talk about Lavinia Fisher. I know, coming in hot with the darkness.
Yeah, holy shit. And right on hot on the heels of Valentine's Day itself. I mean, May as well.
Oh, well, that's kind of why I was thinking of it as, the day of love. Let's add some murder.
Yeah, the Valentine's Day Massacre. Nice.
We're going to talk about the Holocaust Avengers, and I got a nice little cryptid called the Goofus in there that I'm excited about.
That sounds awesome.
I'm going to say Lavinia Fisher and the Goofus are both listener recommendations, so I am excited about both of those.
Okay, cool. Goofus. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited about Goofus just because. Just because of the name. That sounds fucking awesome. Goof.
Yeah, so that's some of the stuff we have coming up soon. The timing will be we'll see when, but within the next few months you will definitely see most, if not all, of those.
Hooray! Yeah, well, thanks again, everybody. Again, this won't be necessarily our first release of 2023, but this is our first recording, so Happy New Year, everybody! Thanks for sticking with us. Hooray! And we'll see you next time.
Bye, listeners.
Bye-bye.